So let's start with the big story that we are tracking on WION at this hour. Now, the American President-elect Donald Trump has warned that there would be hell to pay in West Asia if the Israeli hostages who are currently in the custody of Hamas in the Gaza Strip are not released prior to his inauguration in January. Now, remember, a total of 251 Israeli hostages had been taken into custody on the 7th of October by Hamas. Now, 422 days on, in the aftermath of the intense and unending bombardment that the Israelis have carried out, they've still not been able to get back the hostages, and about 100 of the hostages are still in the captivity of Hamas. Now, according to the Israeli intelligence, there are 4 American nationals as well among the hostages. And in his most explicit message to those that he referred to as the perpetrators of atrocities against humanity, Trump said that they will be hit harder than anybody has been hit in the long and stellar history of the United States of America. Meanwhile, the U.S. State Department spokesperson Matthew Miller announced that Secretary of State Anthony Blinken will be meeting with the Israeli Minister of Strategic Affairs Ron Dermer today.
He is going to continue to express the position of the United States that we need to get a ceasefire, we need to see the hostages released, we need to implement plans for the day after that would allow or would establish governance, security, and reconstruction inside Gaza, and that ought to be an urgent priority, not just for the United States, not just for other countries in the region, but for Israel as well.
A Hamas delegation met with the head of the Egyptian General Intelligence, Major General Hassan Rashad, and a number of Egyptian intelligence officials to discuss ways to stop the war and aggression, and also to bring in aid and to open the Rafah border crossing. Also, the delegation from Hamas met with the leaders of the rival group Fatah in Egypt for talks seeking to bring post-war Gaza under full control of the Palestinian Authority. Now, Gaza, remember, has been under the authority of Hamas since it used force to take the territory in 2007 from the Fatah movement, which currently rules over parts of the occupied West Bank under the Palestinian Authority. Now, Egypt's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Badr Abdulati, has said that the Palestinian Authority is to be fully enabled to take on matters in clear and complete manner after the end of the Israeli occupation. Meanwhile, the United Nations Chief Antonio Guterres has urged the international community to build a foundation for sustainable peace in the Gaza Strip. Antonio Guterres said that the situation in war-torn Gaza was just appalling and apocalyptic. He also warned that the conditions faced by the Palestinians in the territory may amount to the gravest international crimes that we have witnessed. Now, WION's correspondent from the State of Israel, Jody Cohen, spoke about the reaction within the Israeli nation on President-elect Trump's suggestion on Truth Social that there'd be hell to pay if the hostages aren't returned before his inauguration. Listen to what she had to say.
So President Trump posted what's being called the strongest warning yet from America to Hamas, saying that there will be all hell to pay in the Middle East and for those in charge who perpetrated these atrocities against humanity if the hostages are not returned before the 20th of January, which is his inauguration. Now, this comes after a series of new revelations basically surrounding the American hostages. For example, new intelligence revealing that American hostage Omer Neutra was killed by Hamas on the 7th of October and that his body was taken hostage into Gaza and is still being held there. It also comes after Hamas released a propaganda video showing American hostage Idan Alexander saying he doesn't want to end up like fellow American hostage Hersh Goldberg Polin, who was executed by Hamas. Now, Israel's President Herzog has welcomed Trump's post, and the Hostages Families Forum extended their gratitude to Trump for what they called his clear and uncompromising message. Meanwhile, the White House has said that there's no update on a hostage release deal and that Hamas is still the main stumbling block.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.